Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're here at the NCBFAA conference in San Antonio. Yesterday, we had the first timer reception, and today we have seminar starting, which is amazing. And we're here talking to one of the speakers at the conference, which is Kevin Balsey. Hi, Kevin. How are you today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, of course. Thank you for being here. So, you have a session. Tell us more about your session.
The session tomorrow is called Your IT Backlog is Not Getting Shorter, and it's ways to build workflow automation without an IT ticket. And so I think the general sense is with so much technology and so much data that's available to you, how do you make choices about where to spend your IT budget? And the reality is for most companies here and most in logistics, that the IT backlogs are overwhelming and we need ways to get through the backlog that don't involve engineers.
Why do you think it's important for them to understand this topic?
Unfortunately, it's hard enough to get an IT ticket through at a lot of these companies, but it might be even harder if you're working in compliance.
Right.
And so, where compliance is maybe a cost center to the business or a cost of doing business that's not necessarily generating revenue, but it's necessary to do the job for a customer, those tickets may get buried even further. And those workflows are even trickier to automate because there's consequences and penalties associated with noncompliance.
Do you think this is one of the biggest issues right now, what you're speaking on?
I think so. I think in order to move forward, there's a lot of obviously legacy systems out there, and there's a lot of migrations going on, which involve a lot of engineers and implementation and things like that. And the actual workflow automation now is quite possible to be done without using the IT resources that will be occupied by those major transitions,
Yeah.
and to be able to get small wins for teams to actually compound and over time look back and say, this decision to adopt AI software, or, to make major improvements in efficiency was not this big scary thing. We literally took it one small step at a time. And it's possible to do that today.
Yeah. And which kind of people do you expect coming to your panel?
Coming to the panel, I think mostly customs brokers and some freight forwarders, I think,
Right.
in attendance. Um, and probably people looking for answers about how to deal with the overwhelming amount of pressure to adopt AI, to have a strategy, and probably the confusion of selecting vendors, making investments. And I think with the panelists, Gabriel Rodriguez and Spencer Strader, we're going to focus on a much more practical uh, management of IT budget and what are the small things we can do to get wins without spending a lot of money.
Right. I was about to ask who's doing the panel with you because I think that's the great thing is that, one person can probably give this information, but having multiple people from different angles makes it much better for the room. So will there be any questions being answered or what do you think? How will the seminar be conducted for you?
Yeah, so we've got two great panelists, Gabriel Rodriguez, the president of A Customs Brokerage, and Spencer Strader, the president
Right.
of Trade Accelerators. Both have a very long history as licensed customs brokers and very successful businesses, and have held roles with the association as well. So I think they have a really great perspective. They're also both customers of OpenTrack for years now, which
Right.
is a great thing to have. And they've had to make tough choices. So, I mean, they certainly, they're entrepreneurs and they're trying to run and manage their businesses as well as their technology and IT stack and their spend. And it's very challenging. And they've made hard choices about what's important and what's cost effective.
Yeah.
And so we'll hear it directly from them.
I think it's the real world experience that really gives the right information to these attendees, right? So now you have a speaking role, and of course, your session is very important. Do you think you'll attend any sessions yourself?
I will, yeah.
Yeah. And what,
Yeah.
what kind of sessions are you looking forward to?
I'm very curious to see some of the direction from some of the government agencies that are here presenting, and to just hear kind of more about dealing with what was obviously a pretty challenging past year for customs brokers.
Right.
And the more that we can learn about these challenges, the more we can equip our customers with the right solutions.
Right. Well, I hope your session goes as planned, and I hope you get the most out of this conference, because I think in in the times we live in right now, it's super important to get together, community. There's a lot of networking to be done. I'm sure you're doing a lot of networking as well for the business as well as for your own educational purposes. So I hope you get the most out of it, and thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.